right. Welcome to another video on the channel. It's something I haven't done yet on the channel, and it's more of a reaction video. Something you guys never seen on the channel, something I've never done on the channel. So this is my first one. We're just testing something out for today. Today, Meme's not here with me. I ain't got Meme today, but I got someone else who's actually pretty cool who actually joined the live stream for the selection show with us. I got my boy H3 here, man. Yo, H3, what's up, man, bro?
What's up? What's up?
So H3 is also like a creator himself. He makes trucks. He's working on trying to get into tracks right now. You know, something cool, something new for him, something he hasn't done. But he also competes in like our mini events that we do. We got an announcement coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. But today it's just me and H3, and we got a video we wanted to watch. I mean, I seen the truck when it first came out. I made a reaction. I just never posted it. But today we got the Power Rush. I think it's called the debut of Power Rush, something like that. Yeah, debut of the record breaking Power Rush. This could be pretty cool because Power Rush I think it's gotten a lot of great reviews so far. And me personally, I like the truck. What do you think about the truck, HJ?
I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think I think blending in two different sports is amazing, to be honest. If Monster Jam can go in that same route with more schemes, I'm all for it.
I agree. I agree. I think Power Rush is like the first of many steps to different like Monster Jam going out to different sports and trying new designs for different trucks that they have, especially on 3D bodies and stuff like that. I know they're big on that right now. So yeah, I mean, and also shout out Camden for breaking the world record. You know, 103 in a monster truck. That's actually pretty cool to see. And we get to see what they get to talk about in this video. I mean, I think it's an Inside Monster Jam video. So shout out Scott Jordan for doing the Inside Monster Jam videos. But we're gonna get into it. Let's see what they got for us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Monster Jam, the official Monster Jam podcast. I'm Scott Jordan, and all the talk in the Monster Jam world, scratch that, all the talk in the sports world right now happened at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where Power Rush debuted the newest Monster Jam truck, and Camden Murphy set a new world record as the fastest Monster Jam truck speed in the entire galaxy. And right now, we are going to go to the middle of nowhere, Tennessee, to welcome in Camden Murphy. Camden, welcome to Inside Monster Jam, and congratulations on your world record, man.
What's
Yeah,
the
thank you,
previous
man.
record?
I appreciate it. Yeah, in the middle of
What happened?
What was the previous record?
It was 102, I think, by Bad Company. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was one. No, not Bad Company. Bad Habit. Sorry, Joe. Bad Habit. 102 with Joe Sylvester. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Camden definitely just beat that with the new Power Rush truck 103. That's pretty crazy. Let's see what Camden got to say about it though.
Tennessee, we're on the road here, but no, I appreciate it, man. It means the world to me to be able to have the opportunity to not just debut a brand new Monster Jam truck, Power Rush, but to be able to set a new world record of speed at the most iconic racetrack in the world, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, during the most epic month of motorsports in May for the Indianapolis 500. So it's so cool, man. You said it. It is crazy how much it's blown up and how much it's just kind of scaled across all sports for what we achieved. And it was definitely a team effort for sure, but super cool, man.
Yeah, you could not have written a better script for that, better background, better story for it. And I'm sitting there, eating my lunch and spitting out my Propel water when I watch Pat McAfee every day. When I see Pat McAfee pull you up on the screen and talk about this world record, man, did you have any idea that this was going to go as viral as it did and you were going to get this mainstream coverage?
That's one thing about it. Yeah, that when he did that, it went so viral. Like I was seeing it on my Instagram and stuff like that. Like
Yes, it was literally everywhere.
not even on my Monster Jam Instagram, just like my regular Instagram. Like it's crazy how much it blew up. I'm like, wow, Power Rush is really like be cultivated like a new audience, which is good for the sport because we love to see new audience like coming into the sport and checking out Monster Jam because that bring more eyes. But yeah, it really went big.
It sure did. Uh, Same thing goes. Yeah, I got it on my feed, and I don't, uh, I think they should do more things like this that garner attention.
Yeah, that is true. Now I'm also wondering, like, actually, I'll talk about it later once we get more into it. Let's get back to the video.
No, not at all. I mean, I knew it was a super big opportunity and a super big stage, but I had no clue the scope that and the scale that it would just absolutely blow up on. So, not a clue. I mean, I heard about it too. That it was on a show, and it's so cool. I mean, there's so many other media channels that have been sharing it, and just seeing the views that every single video is getting is absolutely insane. I mean, it's I believe it's the most or the biggest launch of a brand new Monster Jam truck ever. And, setting a new world record is definitely a good way to do that as well. So,
Now, hold on. What do you think about that? The biggest, like, it had the biggest pop for like a new, like, debuting a monster truck.
100%.
You think so? Out of every truck, like that's including like, I mean, most of the trucks just came out of no. I mean, they didn't really come out of nowhere, but it was like more like the way Jam used to do it. It was just like, oh, we got this concept. We've been working on this concept. They'll show you the 3D render, and then it just comes out. You know what I mean? Kind of like I think the biggest pop we seen was probably from like when JCB Digatron was first introduced, and in I think it was Arlington. I think it was, or I think it was Arlington that it debuted.
Well, these two type of trucks, they touch different areas of motorsports, JCB, and a whole different type of line of work. So I would see that. And marketing. I mean, the newer trucks that they didn't market. I mean, it comes down to they market it for the Monster Jam fans and not a worldwide, or not worldwide, but something that everybody can
Get
just get
behind.
into.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. But Power Rush, I guess they promoted it differently. I mean, kind of differently. Cause remember they posted that little snippet, and then they said something about May, and then May came around. We got the debut, and then it did the maybe 2 days later it did the official world record attempt and beat it. So I think that was pretty peak. I think that was pretty peak.
So do I. Um, the fact of a monster truck going 103 or anything over 100 miles an hour is, you don't see that in no regular show, no nothing. That's not regular people aren't just building a monster truck and going 100 miles an hour. So that also brings
More
something that
eyes. Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think Camden's right when they say it got the biggest pop, just because of the fact that when like Sparkle Smash or like JCB or Rec Deck, even Tech Deck Rec Deck, even from last year, when those things debuted, it wasn't on my, like I said before, it wasn't on my other Instagram accounts. Like I didn't see those, but like Power Rush when it debuted, it was everywhere. And speaking of Rec Deck, when that debuted, it was you know what, it got mixed reactions, and I think that's what kind of not hindered it but hindered it. Like when you think about Power Rush, I think everybody likes Power Rush. Like I haven't seen a single person yet who reaction was, nah, this truck is trash, you know what I mean, or who disliked it. But when Rec Deck came out, you had the people that liked it, and then you had the people that didn't like it. So it had a mixed review. But since Power Rush is liked all around, I guess it was more likable. It was a more likable truck, and it's more captivating to motorsports than a skateboard on a monster truck.
what you got to think, grown-ups, they love cars racing.
Hmm.
Kids, they like seeing cars. Then you put a car on a monster truck when the kids are going to be like, wow, that's crazy. And grown-ups, I mean, they're going to say it's cool. I mean, anybody that watches any type of IndyCar racing, F1 racing, they they have a thought in their head of like, now let's see what this truck's gonna do
Yeah,
on that. You know what I mean? Like it kind of brings a thought of what that car could do on dirt to
yeah.
like a reality.
Facts. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. All right, let's see what Cam can talk about.
Super, super cool and honored to have the opportunity to drive that truck and to be a part of it. And you said it's definitely a good tie with my background in racing. So to have it all come together is super, super cool.
Yeah, so when I saw the concept for Power Rush, I didn't know at the time that you were going to be the driver of it. I know there was all kinds of mystery shrouding what you were going to end up in because we had that TBD for you on screen as far as the schedule announcement show goes. But when you have a truck that looks like this, that is basically
That is also true. I think Power Rush was supposed to debut earlier in the year. Because remember, before the season started, Camden didn't have Clash and Crusher. It was a to be determined. He was just it was him, but in a to be determined truck. So I think Power Rush debuting earlier, I think that would have hindered the whole debut because I mean it would have been a new truck, yes, but at the same time, it debuting recently and doing the world record, I think that's what really like captivated more people. Because if I'm gonna say if Power Rush didn't debut during when they did the world record, then I don't think it would have got as much pop as people wanted, and if it just debuted early in the year.
I agree, but I mean, you you have the truck come out around the theme of what it's supposed to be. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
I think if Jam can do that, I mean, they would see more pop in trucks. I mean, you releasing a truck on a regular Tuesday it, compared to the theme of the truck and where the truck is released around that theme based around what that truck is supposed to be.
yeah.
I think that's what definitely gave it the pop.
Yeah, that too. Like environment plays a big part of it.
Yeah, you released the Indy car, a lifted Indy car in an Indy car venue in an Indy car like scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
gonna you know what I'm saying, it's gonna turn heads instead of it just being, oh look guys,
We just released a new truck. Come to the first show. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. I got you.
I see Jam doing this more, not just you know
Like not
when
just
they
in the car
release it.
scene.
Yeah, like whenever if they release a new body, they get their theme ready and they kind of do something to
Like cater
you
the
know.
theme. Yeah, I gotcha.
Right.
Like I see like if JCB was to re-release, right? How would they do that? How would Jam cater since if they're going off this new formula of catering towards the the majority of fans that like this type of genre of a truck as far as like Power Rush being like a F1 Indy car type of deal. How would they re-release JCB? Like I'm trying to think like cuz JCB is just an equipment, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people like equipment, but like would you like I don't know, like would you release it at like a your local Home Depot or like how would they reintroduce JCB? I feel like that would be an interesting thing to like go over, like discuss.
I mean, there's multiple ways. I think you can if it JCB is company theme. They have so many different vehicles under that name. That's
Yeah.
all equipment. Um, just you can set up with all of JCB's equipment and boom, the truck gets unveiled there.
I mean, yeah, I think if anything, JCB would have been perfect for a World Finals appearance.
Facts.
Maybe even JCB like if I guess if they have more not prep time, but if they was to push back Tristan one more year instead of if they was to put Earthshaker in the year that he started in 2024 with Tyler on his tour, and then waited for World Finals that year and introduced JCB then, and he came out with Sparkle Smash, that would have been pretty cool. Like have all the JCB equipment come out, kind of what he did when he in San Antonio, and just have him jump over some JCB equipment, and that would have been a cool way of showing, like, JCB's here to stay. You know what I mean, or something like that.
I agree. I think the theme around with the JCB, you could have had like little quick time lapse of the JCB like vehicles themselves, make like a little ramp,
Mm-hmm.
and then they unveil the truck. He comes out, jumps over like one of their skidsters or something,
Mm-hmm.
just to say like, "Hey, now we can move dirt, but in 1,500 horsepower." You know,
Yeah. That would have been that. Yeah, that's nice. Now we can move dirt with 50. That's tough. I like that. That's tough. That would have been tough
it probably would have had more eyes turned to it.
for sure.
But also, like, it's more that truck is that company is worldwide, but it's more of a niche
Yeah,
type of,
like
you know what I'm saying?
it'll be more harder to hit that demographic than it is to hit like the power rush and the indie scene and the formula scene, because that's already a big scene. Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you was to debut it somewhere where you're gonna have a lot of eyes. Like World Finals would have been a great place to debut JCB, just because of the fact that all the fans are gonna be there, all the eyes are gonna be there, because the biggest event of the year.
Right.
Right, like that would have been, but with the whole Power Rush one, it makes sense to put it out then, because the Indy 500, such a big, remarkable event that happens every year, and in an Indy car itself, like a monster truck. Well, an Indy car and a monster truck, not a lot of people thought that would be possible, but Jam made it possible. Like, yeah, and that was the perfect time to debut it, because Indy 500, breaking records, going fastest truck ever. Like that was the perfect time for that truck to come out.
Right. It goes hand in hand. Like an Indy car lives above 100 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's just timing. You know what I mean? And then I see it breaking off to maybe an Indy car getting a Power Rush theme, and it's
Oh, yeah, because it go hand in hand. I see what you mean. Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, I think it will take this upcoming season, see how he does, and
True.
that the marketing will probably skyrocket to a whole different realm.
That is true.
And then if he ends up winning a title in Power Rush, I mean, this truck is gonna absolutely blow up. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure. And it's really up to Camden now. Well, I mean, he's gonna have some events coming up in the fall. I think in the fall show, so we get to see how the truck runs and how it goes and how Camden drives it. It'll be pretty cool to see what he can do in that truck. Hopefully next year, once he's full time in the truck, as far as season wise, he can pull out a season win. That's what we all want, because Camden still hasn't had a season win yet, like a series championship to his name. So if he can get it in this, that's the icing on the cake for Camden Murphy for sure.
I think this is Hamden's Dennis Anderson moment. I think this can solidify him as like this is his truck.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Me personally, I don't see nobody else that you would really put in Power Rush that would fit the role of
Of
a truck that's
that
is gonna be fast and you want to see an IndyCar fly. You know what I mean?
that and especially the fact that Camden Murphy's a racer as well. Like, he's probably gonna get into that soon, but like how he's also into like NASCAR, and how he's an adrenaline junkie. You know what I mean? And Power Rush is basically an adrenaline junkie truck. So it's kind of
Right.
it kind of go hand in hand with Camden. Like, there was nobody else you could put in this truck. Okay.
Right.
Now let's get back to the video. We've been yapping for I don't even know how long that yap session was, but yeah,
The whole video.
yeah, basically.
Designed as an Indy car, I don't think there is a better platform or a better driver fit. I've never seen a better driver fit into a truck than you in Power Rush. I think you would have to agree with that this is Camden Murphy if you could build it in 12,000 pounds.
Okay, I gotta pause it one more time. Yo, what's funny that he's saying that? It's funny because of the fact that JCB, right? is Tristan's truck. You see what I mean? Like JCB Dickatron was built for Tristan, right? We can agree on
Yeah.
that. Power Rush was built for Camden,
Yeah.
and then you got Tech Deck Rec Deck. I think Bryce Kenny is built for Tech Deck Rec Deck. Like, and it's crazy because those three drivers are like, if not top 5 most entertaining drivers to watch on the tour right now. Tristan England with his
Yeah.
2-wheel skills maneuvers. Camden Murphy, you never know what he's going to do on freestyle. And Bryce Kenny coming up with the innovation move of the impossible with Tech Deck Rec Deck, because that's what skateboarders do. So it's kind of cool how like these drivers fit these trucks that they're making. And I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, where it's like drivers fit these trucks or these trucks are going to fit these drivers, but either that or the fact that drivers just make the truck their own. Like they put their personality in the truck, and that's what make the truck and them go together so well. But it's working out perfectly.
I think that's a good thing though, that they are making it to where it's like these are statements that this driver to this truck.
Yeah.
For a while, it's like you look at Monster Jam and it's just like it looks like everybody just floated from truck to truck.
Yeah.
Besides like besides your Gravedigger trucks.
Right. Well, yeah. And you know, it's crazy too, because before this, we didn't really have that type of we didn't really have that in the sport as far as like drivers and truck pairings. The only 2 trucks that was really like maybe 3 at most. Like the most prominent 3 trucks that really you knew like driver to truck was probably Dennis and Gravedigger, Tom and Max D, and probably George Bellhand and Mohawk Warrior. Like those 3 were just prominent like driver to truck, you know, like pairings. So now that we kind of,
I would say Lindsey Wick when he got into the Crusader.
okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I agree with that. You know what? I'm not even. You know what? I agree with that whole and Damon Bradshaw, Monster Energy.
Right.
But then you had Tyler Duke and Metal Militia, which is kind of like he made that truck his own, even though Brian Deegan and what's the other dude's name? Oh man, I'm forgetting. Matt Biden, and you know, but he kind of drove it a little bit while Todd was in Monster Energy. But you get those type of trucks and those type of pairings that's kind of like, yo, this driver fits that truck perfectly. And I don't know if it's because of the driving style or the personality behind the driving style or the personality of the driver himself. It's kind of like you just get that perfect fit.
Right. I think it's all together. And I think that's more of, you need that because you know what I mean? Like Monster Jam right now, which it makes sense. All the trucks, you know, they're pretty much the same trucks they run in all of this besides your independents. But you could realistically kind of look at it and say, okay, these drivers are the same.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Of course, Power Rush, there's going to be multiple, and there's probably going to be another driver, 2 other drivers that drive the truck. That's a given. But I think it builds a character. It makes the person look better, and it's not just a guy behind the wheel of a monster truck.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, like, because now you give fans more. You give fans like it's kind of like they're more engaged. You know what I mean? They're not coming for just the trucks anymore. They start to come for the driver and the driver behind the truck. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of like what Pit Party is. Like you get to meet the driver behind the truck, but it's different when the truck and the driver just go so well together. Like,
right. Well, it shouldn't be where you have to go to a pit party, meet the driver, and then be like, okay, now I like this truck.
Yeah.
It should be whenever you see it, you know who's already driving it, and this is the reason you like it.
Exactly. Instead of like DJ K Young on the mic, like, hey, this is so and so and so and so, and you're like, well, who's this driver? I never met him before. Even though I just got his autograph in Pit Party, I never met the driver before. So it kind of get like even like Cynthia. Cynthia's a perfect example because she took Lucas Stabilizer and made it her own. And every time I think of Lucas Stabilizer now, I think of Cynthia Gautier. You know what I mean? Even though Lindsey Reed has driven it. I think Charlie Parkin has driven it. You know, different people have driven that truck. But every time I think of stabilizer, it's Cynthia. You know what I mean? And that's what
Right.
you want a fan to think when they see that truck. Or when they see the driver, they be like, oh, Cynthia, that's Lucas Stabilizer. You know what I mean? Like, get that identity with them.
Right. And I think that's what builds a fan base.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at Metal Militia. Metal Militia, it came
Yeah.
out. It came out. It was a cool truck, but it took the person that was driving it to have the attitude
Yeah.
to make that truck bigger than what it was.
For sure.
Because if you put anybody else in that truck at that in those years that it ran, it's probably just
It's just another truck.
It's just another failed identity.
Yeah. Like, no offense to Scott Buto, but if you put Scott Buto in there, he's not gonna drive with the tenacity Tyler Duke did. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Tyler Duke was Better Militia was a very bad boy truck. It gave bad boy, and it was like a Mohawk Warrior when it first came out. It was more of like an attitude error. Oh, I'm very gringe and grungy type of feel when Mohawk Warrior was on the track. You know what I mean? It had stereos in the back.
Yeah, I'm coming to take over Monster Jam. I'm here to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
Not to bash on Scott Buto, but I think he made a name once he got in
Hot Wheels
Firestorm.
Yep. For sure. That was another great pairing though.
Right, that became the backflip truck. I mean that's
and to make do with what he had. You know, Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. The main name was Team Hot Wheels. You know, Hot Wheels is kind of like, you know, I don't know if you guys ever seen the live events that Hot Wheels do, but they be doing like tricks and stuff with their cars and like going through loops and stuff like that. And you know, Scott Buto kind of took that idea and pushed it to the next level because Scott Buto started doing backflips more often in his runs in that truck. And Team Hot Wheels Firestorm is kind of known for like that daredevil type of stunts and cars. So if you put two and two together, Scott Buto doing the backflips in a monster truck kind of cultivated the whole Hot Wheels brand in itself because of the fact that trucks wasn't really doing backflips as much as Scott Buto was, or if they were, they wasn't doing as many as Scott Buto.
Right, and I think he's one of the first people to like actually
perfect it. To be honest,
perfect the backflip.
Yeah, four backflips. 4 backflips and 1 freestyle. Listen, and land all 4 of them. Yeah, that takes skill. No matter how many people want to say, you know, 4 backflips, it takes skill to do 4 backflips and have your truck
not grenade itself.
Exactly, and that just speaks to how good a Screw Chief was, and it speaks to how good Scott Buto was knowing how to perfect it. You know what I mean? So that's you know, yeah. Let's get back to the video though. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's definitely me to a T for sure.
We went a whole minute.
Nah, it had to be longer than a minute. That had to be about 5. Oh, you talking about in the video?
And we went 1 whole minute.
All right. We're gonna stop pausing for a bit until something comes up again.
Have an open wheel inspired Monster Jam truck is so cool, and honestly, like when I first saw the concept of it, when I saw the renderings and all that, oh man, that's pretty cool. But then the first time you see it in person, it just goes to another level. You know, sometimes it goes the opposite direction when you see it in a rendering, so that's pretty cool. And then you see it in person, I'm like, okay, you know, but this one was just on another level. And, you know, I've been racing for almost 20 years of my life, and to be able to drive a Monster Jam truck that represents my career and my life, you know, it couldn't be more perfect fitting for sure. You said it. I mean, the only way I guess you could make it even better is NASCAR, you know, a NASCAR truck. But, you know, this is just so perfect. And, you know, it feels so good to be in an identity that really feels like me. And I've loved every identity I've been in, don't get me wrong, but this one right here just feels extra special.
To debut a new truck in Monster Jam is a huge responsibility. You, my friend, have been tasked with that 3 separate times. Okay, we get a brand new partnership with Spin Master. Bakugan Dragonoid steps into the fray. Camden Murphy will debut that truck. We go to Classroom Crusher, this gigantic school bus. Camden Murphy will debut this truck. Now we get this Power Rush truck. Camden Murphy will debut that truck. That is a huge honor. I know you don't take it lightly, but what do you think makes you the perfect fit to be this driver that can continuously bring these new IPs into the fold and make them as huge as anything?
Man, it means a lot that you say that, but I don't know. I think that the thing with me is you never know what you're going to get. So, I always will go out there, and my goal and my mission is to create memories that last a lifetime. And it doesn't matter what truck I'm driving. I just want to leave the fans with a memory. And, it's super, super cool to, when we, for example, this weekend, when we debuted Power Rush and we had all these fans that came out just to see the debut and just to see the speed run. And they talked about Classroom Crusher and seeing me at Lucas Oil Stadium and stuff like that. And it means so much to me that I made that lasting impression, that I've only made really one stop at some of these places, or I've just in a short period of time been in this one truck and already been able to make some memories. And, so I'd like to think you never know what you're going to get out of me. You're going to get some highlight reels, and you're going to definitely get, some unexpected moments. And that's what Monster Jam is all about. So it's an honor to be able to have debuted so many brand new Monster Jam trucks. And, I'm just a big kid living a dream, and just incredibly fortunate to be able to debut brand new trucks and bring them to the world. And I don't know if there's going to be another truck I'll ever debut. I mean, this is just such a perfect fit. But it's such an honor to have the opportunity to debut another one, and I'm just excited to get it going.
So I was watching all of the social media coverage with you in Indianapolis, and one thing that really struck me is that you said you only get one shot at this. So obviously you're telling it to everybody, but that's literally the accurate statement. You had one chance to set this record, and that was it. One run, one pass, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, not to jump ahead, but it was definitely a feat to make all this happen. There was so many hours that went into this, and so many different people that came together to make all this happen. I mean, it was definitely not just me. I mean, there's such a team effort, and there was definitely a moment before we even got there, we weren't even sure if it was going to happen. And now that we got there, then all of a sudden we didn't have a chance to do a test run. It almost was even more nerve-wracking. So, it definitely, the stress was on, right? And for everybody, to make sure that I hit my timing points, my shift points, stuff like that. And then to make sure that the truck decides to hold together. The UNOH technicians worked so hard and touched every nut and bolt on that truck to make sure it was 110% and ready to go for that run. But taking a 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck and trying to push it past its limits is one heck of a feat. And sometimes it doesn't like to stay together. So, it was definitely stressful not having that opportunity to test anything on Saturday, but knowing that you only get one shot at it. We can't just turn right around and try it again. We have to get it right the first time.
My guest this week is Power Rush driver Camden Murphy, who just broke the monster truck speed record of 103 miles per hour at the Brickyard in Indianapolis. I'll also be joined by Dustin Brown and Jamie Dawson as we break down this incredible weekend. I want to talk to you a little bit
Oh, snap. Dustin Brown and Jamie. Oh, snap. All right, cool.
about your time breaking this record in the truck. At what point in time did you know that you were going to break it as you're driving down that straightaway at Indianapolis Motor Speedway? Did it ever cross your mind that, yes, I've got this? Were you worried that it wasn't going to happen? Or were you as confident and cool as can be and knew the moment you got in there, it was floor to the floor? You basically pedal to the metal is what I'm trying to say, and you had it nailed.
Can I say all of the above?
Yes, of course.
Hey, man, Dustin is going to talk a lot about it, and he was such a crucial part of this whole project that there were a lot of moments. And I mean, this is a full story. I mean, there could be a full season about just this record attempt, of the heartache and the stresses that were gone through and put through in this whole thing.
Hold on, let me pause right there. Yo, Monster Jam, if you have like behind the scenes footage of like everything that went down to make this world record doable, you might want to share that. I would love to see it, low key.
Yeah, you gotta release that.
Yeah, you
It's
got to drop that. I don't want to see it. I know everybody else want to see it. Especially, this is the best time because you get to capitalize on Power Rush. So yeah, let me see it.
thanks.
And I don't think there was a surefire moment of like, yeah, we got this. There. No, I mean, I was trying to tell myself that. I was trying be as confident as possible, but there was not a moment that I said, "Yep, that we got it." I can say that it was one of the most violent rides of my life. It was incredibly bumpy. It was incredibly the vibrations that were going on inside that truck were insane. I really can't explain it. And
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I had a speedometer on the truck, and all I could really see really was 10 something, but I didn't know what. And I had a rough idea where I needed to end, and I just kept going until saw 10 something, and I was like, well, all right, I really hope we got it. And as soon as I lifted, there was silence on the radio. I didn't hear anything, didn't hear anybody. I was just trying to get the truck slowed down, driving through turn 3, and just kind of letting the truck coast. And I just took a deep breath, and I'm like, okay, well, the truck stayed together. It's over. But what happened? And I'm just waiting for an eerie silence and just waiting for something. And I'm pretty sure it was Dustin that came over the radio and said, we got it. We'll drive all the way around, or something like that. And it was such a sigh of relief, man. It was definitely the long hours and stress that everyone went through to make this happen.
Yo, they if they recorded this whole thing, bro, yo, they gotta release it, bro. That would be so cool. Like the way Camden explains it, imagine that in a film sense, like in a movie. Like you just hear the truck shifting through gears, and then it gets airy once he sees the 1-0, and then it's just an airy sound in the background, and he just coasted, and then Dustin comes in. Yo, we got it. Oh, that would be so peak. Oh man, Jay, you gotta. Oh man, bro. I'll put it together
Yeah,
for you. Low key, stop playing. Oh
give us a little
man,
30-minute documentary.
literally. Oh, that's all we need. 30 minutes, bro. We need that. We need that.
All paid off.
An amazing crowd there, man. It's such a true testament to Monster Jam and to the Indianapolis 500 that so many people came out in the weather to watch you do this. But how many times do you get a chance to see someone set a world record in a Monster Jam truck at the most famous speedway in the entire world? So I think that's very cool. Before I let you go, I want to talk about Chip Ganassi because I saw you posted on Instagram. You got to spend some time there. How was that for you this weekend?
It was super cool. I mean, I got to hang out with Kiffin Simpson there, and super, super cool guy. He came to Monster Jam at Lucas Oil Stadium earlier in the year, and got to hang out with him during intermission, and just kind of talk to him, and just so cool to be able to have our worlds cross paths, and just chat with him and talk about the IndyCar world and my NASCAR past and history, and then how Monster Jam and the whole collide of it comes together. I mean, he's a big Monster Jam fan, and so it was super cool to be able to get into the garage and just, I've spent so much time in those garages at Indianapolis Motor Speedway that it was awesome to be back there, but it's extra special to be there during the Indy 500 month of May, so to get the chance to see the car, hang out with Kiffin, and just see everything that goes on to basically put on the Indy 500 for just one single car, one single team there. It's insane. So it was an absolute honor to be able to be there. I'm still pinching myself to this day that I was a part of that whole moment. I mean, I remember, choking up a little bit. I'm not going to lie, right before I took off from the start line, and just realizing where we're at and the scope and scale of what we're doing. So, to be a part of any of that was an incredible honor and a memory that I'll remember forever.
All right, last question for you. I know we have you going to World Finals in Salt Lake City, a classroom crusher. But do you know what the future is for Power Rush? Can fans look forward to seeing it somewhere down the road in the summer, in the fall, or is that still
Please say it's going to be a
hush
finals.
thing and tune in later?
It has to be.
I would tune in later, but I mean, it's definitely going to be moving forward for sure. Power Rush will be in competition, but stay tuned on its first event. I'm so excited to see it under the lights and flying high through the sky. Now we've gone fast. Now we got to jump big, get wild, get crazy, and do what and do what we know to do, and make a name for Power Rush.
We will continue the conversation about Power Rush with Dustin Brown. Right now, we bid adieu to Camden Murphy. Camden, congratulations on the world
Seeing Dustin
record
Brown
and your
can't
new
be
Monster
cake.
Jam truck. Thank you so much for being here, man, and enjoy getting through Tennessee, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. Greatly appreciate it as always. Incredibly honored to have a world record and can't wait to see the truck on track.
All right, Camden Murphy, everybody.
All right, before Camden leaves, like, let's just wrap up the Camden section of the video. I mean, hey man, shout out to Camden, bro. He really, like, just that one, just being in the truck and driving the truck for the world record alone, just shows me that that's just Camden's truck. Like, Power Rush was made for Camden. Like, there's no other way to put it, in my mind at least.
Right, it's not no random driver that they get that uses like a stunt chassis and
Yeah, like, that truck was made for Camden.
I'm glad they put his name behind it though. And they're pushing his name behind it.
Yeah, like,
It's not a new Monster Jam truck. It's
it's
Camden's
yeah,
Monster Jam truck.
and that's what I love about it. And I think Camden, and the only thing about it is Camden is gonna have a lot of more pressure on his shoulders because he has to do well in that truck. You know what I mean? Debut truck made just for you. You already got a world record in the world record with it. So in competition, now you really gotta show that you belong in the truck. Not only just to look good in it, but like to actually get it some wins, some racing wins, some two skills wins, some freestyle wins. You know, get it under his belt. But it's gonna be cool to see him go out there and really prove to the world that, like, well, to prove to the fans that just because he left Clash from Crusher and he's not in Bakugan no more, he can still drive with the best. You know what I mean? Because I feel like this year was kind of like this season for Camden was kind of like a iffy season because he started off so hot and then got so cold towards the end, and Tristan kind of started to run away with the title. So I feel like if Camden comes in next year and he proves dominance like he did this year and keep it consistent, he's due for a championship next year.
I think he knows that. He's gonna next season he'll come in with a little bit more mindset of the whole thing instead of just a few show aspect.
Yeah.
Depending on the tour he gets put on next season, I mean he's high in contention right now. I mean,
Yeah. That's for sure. All right, Camden, your time is up, my boy. Shout out to Camden, bro. Shout out to Camden.
Thank you so much, Camden. We're going to keep the Power Rush conversation moving on. Now it is my pleasure to welcome in Monster Jam's Director of Fleet Operations, Dustin Brown. And for those of you back home and watching on TV right now, Dustin is 60% responsible for me being here in the studio right now. And I will never, ever let you forget that. He was my commentary partner in my audition for NBC. Dustin, welcome to Inside Monster Jam. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks, Scott, for having me. It's been a really hectic week, and it's been.
Wait, did he say he's the Director of Fleet?
Yep.
That's crazy. That's cool. That's a cool title. That's cool.
He's literally done it all. Worked on trucks, drove trucks, and now he controls the trucks.
Probably built trucks. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
A great week at the end, so great to be here.
Let's talk about the preparation, man. So I know Power Rush was conceptualized a while ago. Was from the time to the conceptualization of the IP to this, how much time are we talking for preparation for this?
You know, we've been talking about doing the speed record in Indy for 5 or 6 months now, and it's been preparation side and planning was, months in advance. But what people don't know is we didn't really start prepping the truck or even testing till once Camden was done in Cleveland, which was just over 2 weeks ago. So we did Cleveland on May 2nd, May 3rd, started prepping the truck, and we were testing 4 days later after Cleveland, and it had its challenges. Everything we learned in 2020, we took that same setup going, okay, we have a little bit longer distance to go. And we're going to start with the same setup we did with Mohawk Warrior in 2020, and we found out that it didn't work at all.
We know that Monster Jam trucks are not necessarily designed to drive 100 miles per hour. They're supposed.
I wonder if it's grip level. The reason why there was a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what else played a factor into the factor of what made Mohawk Warriors truck so different compared to the Power Rush truck. I mean, yes, you have to go faster, but the components behind it to make it happen is a completely different story. So I wonder what Dustin's gonna say about this.
Well, I'm not I'm not too for an expert on racetracks like IndyCar tracks, but a drag strip is real sticky. So I mean, I think it might be a power because I mean you're getting instant power on a drag strip. Now a truck with that big of tires, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's still gonna grip up, but that might be a huge factor in it. Um, I don't know where they did the speed record, but elevation could be a thing. You can't. It's not even if it's not the same. It could be off by a little bit, but I mean that's still different. The truck's gonna run different.
Well, they did in the Indy.
Oh, they did the speed record in Indy in 2020.
Oh, you talking about for Mohawk?
Yeah, I don't know where that was.
They
At.
did. They. I think it was in Orlando. I think it was in Orlando.
Oh yes, I mean that those are two totally different
Climates.
climates that you gotta factor for as well. And then I also don't know what goes into they just changed the gearing, they just or they put a whole different tranny in there. I don't know.
I think. Well, from what I've let's see what Dustin got to say. Let's see what Dustin got to say.
To be big and tough and fly over things and make a lot of cool viral moments. Was there anything that was designed in Power Rush specifically to get it to that point, or was this just a normal Monster Jam truck that was built and we're going to let all the magic happen?
We basically going back to 2020, we started with balancing tires, balancing rims, trying to get the drivetrain vibrations out of the truck because you're right, they're not made to go 100 mile an hour. They go 50, 60, 70 in a stadium on the normal, and they're just once you add in that extra speed, the variables go way up. So we spent 5 days just prepping the truck, trying to make sure it's as straight as possible, steering as equal as possible. We tuned the engine up, brand new transmission, just knowing what we needed to do to break this record. And from the first day of testing, we found out that we were way off on drivetrain harmonics, and trying to eliminate drivetrain harmonics was the biggest problem. And I think, I did the testing the first day. Um, we made a couple runs to 1,000 foot, and we're like feeling pretty confident. And then the first full run I made, I dropped all the drive shafts out of it, broke all the pinions off, took the T case out, and at that point, we knew we had a long road to.
Wait, so Dustin drove the truck himself
Yeah,
during testing, just to test like what they gotta do, and that boy broke everything.
he he literally it was like from what I'm getting from it is everything on the bottom end of that truck was like put in a blender at that speed. It just starts
Basically.
vibrating
Yeah.
and it just snaps. Now that's a sight that I do not want to be in. You just tear everything underneath the truck up while you're moving that fast. That'd be some
That's
a little
scary.
bit of
That's
yeah,
scary.
you know what I'm saying?
That's scary.
That'd be a little scary.
Dustin, you got it, bro. You got it.
A hoe getting up to Indy.
So you were basically the test driver for this before Camden got in the truck to attempt this. Is that correct?
Correct. I drove the first day in testing at the airport we tested at in Illinois, and then Camden came in on the second day and took over from there.
So I know that Hall Brothers Racing was involved in this, and for those fans that are old school monster truck fans, the Hall Brothers have been around for a long time. A Raminator, Ammunition. What was Mark's involvement in this whole process?
Basically, once we got through Saturday, we realized we had to redesign what we were using for drive shafts. Our normal competition drive shafts were not holding up to even getting close to 100 mile an hour. So we contacted Hall Brothers, who have built drive shafts for Max D and Tom Mintz for years. They had a bigger design, a lighter weight tubing that was made to turn as fast as we were turning it. I think we figured out on a 100-mile-an-hour run, we were turning the drive shaft 21,000 times. And to get that, you had to go bigger and lighter. And they knocked us out a set of drive shafts. I think they started Sunday morning at 6 a.m. and we had them by 10, put them in the truck. And then once we got to that point, we started progressing faster and actually having the truck hold together.
That's incredible. But I want to talk about what we know what went right. So let's talk about the preparations for what could have gone wrong. The weather, obviously, a huge factor. We saw the rain coming in that delayed the track a little slick. Was that a concern for everybody throughout the weekend that we may not be able to break this record simply because of the weather conditions coming in?
Well, between the weather, the conditions, the Indy 500's the biggest, almost one of the biggest races in the world. And us trying to fit in on their qualifying day was challenging. Our practice run on Saturday got rained out. Luckily, we got the great unveil done on Friday, but the Sunday around their schedule was, it was a challenge, and it had me really worried that, okay, they start falling behind, whether weather come in on Sunday or start falling behind on their qualifying show, when we were actually going to be able to do this. Turns out everything worked out great. We were right on schedule for Sunday. We did make some test runs in the rain in Illinois. Not straight rain, it was sprinkling, but there wasn't any standing water. But would we have gone for it on Sunday? I'm not saying yes or no, whether it was, if it was raining, but there was definitely that weather concern going in, even starting on Friday. I know they pushed the unveil back on Friday because of weather, and it was a lot of hard work went into this project for it to get rained out. And it was really, I was stressed for a couple of days.
What type of communication were you having with Camden
I
on
would
the
have been
headset?
hurt
You
if they got
mentioned that
rained
you
out.
were in his ear, and he had a story that was pretty funny, where after he broke the record, he didn't know because he said you were silent for a minute and kind of made him wait a little bit. But what type of communication did you have with him as he's in the truck? Were you trying to calm him down? Were you just hyping him up? But what was that conversation like?
It was just trying to keep him calm. And obviously, with all the testing we did, we had to be on point of exactly on how we drove the truck, where the shift points were. We had a lot of communications between the both of us. I think between the two of us, we both made 15 to 20 full runs in testing and
Damn.
trying to get it, to know what we needed to do to break the record. We knew how far we had to go, and trying to do the same exact thing every time. It was just that communication. And on top of that, just keeping him calm. It was a very big stage on Sunday in Indianapolis. Just keeping him calm and knowing what he had to do, because there is a safety risk in what we do with this at that speed. Obviously, a Monster Jam truck with big tires, again, is not made to go that fast. So just keeping him calm. He got in the truck probably 30 minutes before we even moved it to break the record. So
That's
he's
crazy.
calm, cool already. And I didn't have to say much other than just, go for it.
When you talk about test runs, how far were you able to push the truck? I mean, you're not doing 100 miles per hour in the test runs, are you? Or are you getting that top speed?
The goal was to get the speed we needed in testing. And we accomplished that a couple times. We wanted to go to Indianapolis knowing we had what it took to do it.
Okay.
Now, at the end of the day, you can't control parts breakage. We can't control what happens on the track. We knew the setup. Once we were done testing on Thursday before, we knew we had the setup right. We knew we had the truck to do it. The engine was happy. Transmission, everything was working great. We just had the fingers crossed was to make sure it actually held together, because like I said, the run on Sunday was the only run that we didn't have any damage in 9 days. So the prep work going in, the guys at the shop, we did the unveil with a display truck on Friday because we were still testing in Illinois to shake the truck down, make sure everything was good. The race truck didn't even show up in Indy till late Saturday night. We got it out Sunday morning, put tires on it, when we went and broke the record.
That's
So it's a test.
crazy. Wow. That's crazy.
Pulled the truck out, put the tires on, and everything just went right. That's a good story right there.
I need this documentary, bro. Yo, what? Oh man, that's cool. Oh, that's so cool.
Testament to the prep the guys did back at the shop. The guys on site Sunday morning, they spent 8 hours just checking everything over, double, triple, quadruple checking everything because we knew we only had one shot at this. If it didn't work, we couldn't stop, back up, and start over. We had one shot. And the prep the guys did, all the technicians, the management team on the fleet side, everybody had a hand in this between both of our shops in Florida and Illinois. And it was just everybody's excited. Everybody, they're still talking about it, and we're already. I was on the airplane Monday morning flying home, already thinking about what we got to do the next time to do this again.
So it's going to be next time 104 miles per hour. Is that the next goal? We're gonna try and top that.
I'm ready to do it right now. We need
That's
to.
crazy.
There's some things we need to work on. We need to work on tire balance, and obviously anybody that knows anything about a Monster Jam truck could watch the video and tell how violent the tire bounce was. So we need to fix that. Do I think we could break the record again? Absolutely. I'm 99.9% confident in that. But there is some things we got to tighten up on.
How hard is it on the transmission and the motor for a Monster Jam truck to get up to 103 miles per hour?
It's extremely hard on the engine. In testing, we went through 3 engines.
Damn.
The engines we have they're not the highest horsepower engines in the world. They're made to live. They're made to perform on a normal weekend in a Monster Jam event. And in a freestyle, you're never holding it wide open for as long as we did. We turned more RPMs in this stunt than any time we've ever done anything. So in it's really the high RPMs is okay for a short period of time. It's when you get it strung out for 18, 20, 22 seconds like we did in Indy that are really hard on anything. But looking at this, we did hurt a couple in testing trying to overly tune up the engine to get more horsepower. And we actually melted one down, which is the first time we've ever melted an engine down with EFI. We finally got it so lean, we couldn't put enough fuel in it to keep it running. So looking at the engine coming out of Sunday, it looks really good. The transmission has some wear. I was really worried when Camden launched on Sunday. When he left the starting line, the transmission was slipping so bad, and you could tell in the video that the engine was way high RPMs and the truck wasn't going anywhere until he shifted into second gear. So just the speed and the high RPMs is just hard on everything. Drivetrain. I think we took out 6 or 7 transfer cases in the week of testing, and we have trucks that run the same transfer case for years and never have a problem. So just the parts usage going into this and what it took to finally get the record is it's amazing. And I know the guys were every night putting a new transfer case in, new drive shafts in, because we got to the point we could make 2 or 3 test runs and then we'd have to start all over again on the truck. It's just the parts are not made to go this quick. And luckily they held together on Sunday. It turned out really well.
Well, one more question for you, and I touched.
What happened?
You got to think, it's high horsepower, but all that is making 12,000 pounds move
quickly.
It's not it's built up, but that's pretty much an instant. You know what I'm saying? That's not.
Yeah, it's a truck's not supposed to be able to do this. Is the main point of this world record. This is not your average everyday speed for a monster truck. This is listen, to make this work, we had to do so much different we had to do so many different tunes on the truck to even get it at a speed we wanted it to, let alone beat the record. Just to get it up there is a task in itself.
Did he say 5 to 6 transfer cases? Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's crazy.
Just on it briefly, but Camden did say that after he crossed the line, there was radio silence and he had no idea what happened. Was it were you building that suspense for him or were you waiting for official confirmation before you let him know that he in fact did break the world record?
Yeah, and I was really waiting. We had code words we were supposed to use on the radio to let us know, once they got the radar numbers. But really it was two things. We didn't want to have a broken truck drive all the way around the track and get back. The goal was to break the record and get back to those bricks at the start finish line. So one, we broke, once we knew we had to break the record and we got that accomplished, it was okay, let's get back around to the starting line and celebrate with all the Monster Jam fans that were in Indy that day. And there was a lot of people that we talked to that came just for the Monster Jam truck and what we were going to do on Sunday. So there was some silence. I think it was more silence on our end, and me and the other shop manager that was in the safety truck with the IMS team was, we did it. We felt very confident in what we did. Watching the truck go down the track, knowing what we did in testing, it was just like a relief. It was a sigh. It's like I've done a lot of Monster Jam events, and I've never been that nervous going into something. And I wasn't even driving the truck. It was just all the variables that we couldn't control, and knowing how much work we put into this and hoping that it wasn't one of those small 10-cent pieces that took us out of what we were trying to accomplish.
Well, you did a great job, man. Congratulations. I know it was a lot of work, and it paid off big. It's gone viral all over the world. And just hats off to you and the entire crew, man, for pulling this off.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was a lot of work by a lot of people, but everybody pulled together. In the end, we accomplished our goal.
All right, Dustin, thank you so much. Dustin Brown, Monster Jam's Director of Fleet Operations. Let's continue the Power Rush party by welcoming in.
Yo, shout out Dustin Brown, man. This is what I like about, and this is what I love about Inside Monster Jam. It shows you the people who don't get that much light. Even though Dustin Brown got his light already, still getting his light to this day. But Dustin Brown, now the director of fleet operations, like that's cool. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even know. Well, I knew that, but I didn't know he was a director. But that's pretty cool to see. I like how Inside Monster Jam you get to see basically how everything works. Like Dustin just broke it down how they had to go through 6-7 transfer cases just to even try and get the world record. And the truck that actually tested, the truck that actually did the record wasn't there till Sunday morning. Like that's crazy.
Right, it was there 12 hours before the truck was supposed to even.
That's so crazy.
So at the end of the day, that truck got to Indy, turned on, and ran the record.
Yeah, and then went back. That's so cool. Like you would have never knew that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think Monster Jam needs to do more of these inside Monster Jams, and that even goes on with just shows. Where you come in and you talk about the weekend that just went on.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Like maybe like a little. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Because right now, Monster Jam is really just, it's a show. Show up, boom, 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 it's over. You don't really have no like backstory, no. You know what I mean? Like
it's there and then it's gone. You know what I mean?
Right. Give us the
like
lore.
more content. Give us more content. Is what you're trying to say? Yeah. I see what you mean. Like
let us know why. If Ryan won last weekend, like let us understand why it was so. Like why it was such a good moment for him to win this show this weekend, or this goes for everybody.
Give it more story. You know what I mean? Like Monster Jam lacks story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in this one episode of Inside Monster Jam, it shows you that there is story out there to be told. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, it's an event for you guys' entertainment. Come out, enjoy, yada yada yada, pit party. Go through the motion. But this right here is different in the fact that Camden got a new truck. Like there's so much backstory to it. Camden being a NASCAR driver. Camden adrenaline junkie. You got a new truck debuting. You got the Indy 500 going on. You got the world record being broken. You got the training that led up to the record being broken. There's so many factors that played into this one Inside Monster Jam event. No, this one Inside Monster Jam episode. Even then, you still got so much going on at the Indy event. You know what I mean? Like it's just so many moving parts that was happening, and if they just captured it in a way where they could show fans and show like the behind the scenes, people will be more in tune with maybe the truck, maybe with Camden, maybe with Dustin Brown. leading the whole thing. You know, it just would have put
Right.
more eyes on the fact and gave more appreciation to how the record was broken. Because it's not just,
Right.
a monster truck went a 103, for the first time ever. It's more like, oh, monster truck went 103, but here's what happened to even get it to this point. Like, that would be peak to
Right.
see.
I think it's one of those things that, like, I understand you want, as a business, you want it to seem like everything's perfect. You
Right.
want that but you also, people want to know this is what happens in the downtime of not going through shows in between each little event. I'm not saying go round by round and they have to, you know what I'm saying, you got to break that down, but
Yeah.
it's the little things that just not the commentator of the show is like, oh, the truck went to the back because so and so, and they show a little 3-minute clip of them working on the truck.
Yeah. Make it more entertaining for the fans. Not. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
And it gives more it gives it more weight
Yeah.
to understand, like, these trucks are not perfect. Like these trucks show up on a, like, everybody knows these trucks are not running perfect every weekend. That's a given.
Right. Yeah.
But the way it looks right now is like every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, whenever they compete, these trucks show up and they're always running.
Yeah.
Let's get a video of, like, okay, he ripped his whole front end out
Right.
last weekend. Let's see a little process of what it takes to get that truck back.
Right for the next, right, exactly. And you know what, not only is it good for the fans, but it gives the fans more appreciation for the people that work on the truck, the UNOH tech officials that we barely see. You know what I mean? Not tech officials,
Right.
technicians, that we barely see. They might be on comms with their driver. Their crew chiefs might be on comms with their driver, but you don't really get to see that part of, like, the business. You know what I mean? They don't really show you that part. They only show you the drivers and the trucks and everything that's happening on the track. But what's going on behind the track? You know what I mean? What if a driver's having a bad day and they come out there and they win something and they go on the mic and they're like, man, I just had the worst day ever, but this one means so much to me. Like, what, like, you know what I mean? He explained, like, that part, but it's like we don't really get to know the backstory of, like, what made it a bad day.
We don't truly understand.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, it's been a tough week, but we don't understand how tough that week was.
Like, even, it's cool. Even if a crew chief got on a mic and said, yeah, this truck broke. If you guys seen Minneapolis last event, this truck was broken in half. We had to put it back together for this event. Talk about more stuff like that.
Right. We rolled into this new city on Wednesday. We had to put the truck back together, and we didn't even get it done till
Right.
Friday night, and we had to be out at pit party.
Exactly. Like, that would be
those little things are stuff that a million people want to see. I think with the way that they're doing it now and all the videos that's coming out right now, I think Monster Jam is headed in that direction. I think they're finally understanding that it's more than just a show for the average person. So, I mean, I'm glad I'm seeing this. This is a very good direction Monster Jam is headed in, and I hope they keep it up.
The most prolific guest in Inside Monster Jam history. We fire up the phone lines once again to welcome in Monster Jam's Senior Director of Global Operations, Jamie Dulsing. Jamie, welcome back to Inside Monster Jam.
Hey, look at my boy. Look at my boy Jamie Dawson, man. He's so cool. Like, Jamie's cool. I think I met him, like, maybe once or twice in my life, and every time we talked, he's been really chill and really cool. So shout out Jamie, man. Shout out Jamie.
Mr. Slickback.
Yeah, Mr. Slickback. Yeah, I like that name for him.
Being here.
Glad to be here, always.
Man, what a week for you. Something to be incredibly proud of. I want to start with you with the global imprint that this event has left before we start getting into some of the details. But I've been talking about it with Camden and Dustin, but there's no bigger platform right now in sports than the Pat McAfee show. and he's very selective about what he puts on that program. And to get millions upon millions of impressions of Camden Murphy driving a Monster Jam truck at the most famous speedway in the world and breaking a record, that is a huge deal. And I'm not sure if you expected that, if you knew it was going to happen, but what was your initial response when you saw that?
No, I mean, we're excited about it. We're excited about the entire thing. What a bigger platform, what a bigger stage than Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right? Indy 500 is one of those things in America that you can't miss it. It's on every television station, every news station. Everybody's covering it. The winner makes it, makes their rounds. Last year they did some great stuff on the track that we saw that and we were like, man, we gotta get out there and we gotta get to the Indy 500 and do something big.
So let's talk about the concept of Power Rush. I talked to Camden about this IP seeming to be a perfect fit for him. But as far as your knowledge goes, having your hand in every fishbowl in Monster Jam, when did this initial concept of this IndyCar race style car Monster Jam truck become an idea?
Yeah, working on it for years. We've wanted to go down the
Years? This is crazy. With an S? With an S? JB, wait, hold on. I gotta hit the rest of this.
car route for some time, ever since Gas Monkey Garage and a number of other, car oriented trucks that we've had. We've wanted something that kind of broke into cars, but also racing. So open wheel was definitely something that we've been targeting for a couple of years. When it all came to fruition and the truck came together, we started kind of digging into the IndyCar route. And really going down that and trying to, get our foot in the door in Indy 500, and it all kind of came together. So yeah, a number of years, definitely been working on it for a while.
Obviously we have a
I want to
relationship
say yeah, it's probably be about 3 to 5 years in the making, if he said years. Because I mean, you have to figure out a perfect mold in a way that it fits on the chassis. And then on top of that, Monster Jam did go through that little phase of where they said they're gonna save bodies and stuff as the remake with El Toro and stuff like that. So that probably could have sent the render back into the thing where they had to redo it,
Yeah, like with the whole nose situation and not trying to break like a lot of fiberglass off the nose and stuff like that when the truck does like stoppies and nose wheelies and stuff like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I mean, I'd rather it have took them years and they came out with something this good than
Yeah.
throw something together in 6 months and then hopefully it lands with the fan base.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, and Jamie's been with the company for a long time now, so he knows his way around like everything. I mean, like
Right.
Scott said, has his hands in all the fish bowls of Monster Jam. So, knowing him, he tries to put out the best product for us. So yeah, that makes sense.
city of Indianapolis. We're there at Lucas Oil Stadium for incredible events. That stadium, hands down, one of my favorites in the world as far as my Monster Jam career goes. But when you talk about the Brickyard and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, there's nothing bigger in my opinion. So this obviously we set the bar high, we set our aspirations high. Was Indianapolis always the number one spot to go to?
Yeah, not always number one. It was the goal, right? And it was shooting for the stars. When we talked about breaking the record again, we talked about doing it at a drag strip again, which is convenient and easy to do. We talked about a number of local racetracks, even possibly Sebring or Daytona. But when it all
Daytona mention, but all right, he's just putting it on the line right now.
Thanks.
all came together, Indy 500 was the one that kind of, again, that was shooting for the stars. So when we started getting some feedback, and funny enough, we actually reached out to Morgan Kane. So kind of a blast from the past. That's kind of how we got our foot in the door. Reached out to
Morgan. Oh wow, what is this episode? This is peak. He said he reached out to Morgan Kane to try and get the. Cause doesn't Morgan? I think what does Morgan do now? He does something with F1. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think he does some F1 nowadays. Not F1, Indy, the Indy scene. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, to reach out to Morgan Kane, that's actually pretty cool. Wow, yeah.
Morgan Kane, who works for Penske, and Penske's largely involved in ownership of Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So
He works for Penske. Okay, he works for Penske and they okay, alright. I get it, Jamie. Never mind. Alright, I get it, I get it, I get it.
he kind of paved the way and said, here's the people you need to talk to. And it really got the ball rolling and made it kind of the easy button. And ever since we started that number one conversation, it was enthusiasm from both sides. Never a doubt in our minds that it would work, and that we were going to do it that way. It was great.
So we have a legacy and a propensity now for breaking these world records. And we remember during the pandemic, we had that great special that brought fans in, and we watched a lot of Monster Jam drivers breaking world records. What is it about this incredible feat that keeps Monster Jam at the tip top of it, and as we continue to shatter world records all across the globe?
Yeah, it's something ingrained in Monster Jam, right? We want to go out and we want to hold as many records as we can in the monster truck industry. This was one of them that is achievable in many cases. I I would say, and I'm sure the other two commented on it too. We've probably hit the peak of what a truck can do in its current setup. It's
In his current setup,
Yeah.
is there another setup coming? Question mark.
I mean, there's always. I think. I would be. I mean, I think it's hard because the blower is instant power. But I could see them for the next one if they make a spec like Merlin with the turbo on it. If they make a twin turbo setup, that'd be peak. And then they can and you there's ways that they can probably like manufacture a two-step for it
Yeah.
where the truck is building its boost before the launch. And I think that's something that I'm pretty sure they're probably testing that now because I'm not I'm not no insider, but I think the value of turbos I think is something that crosses their mind all the time, and I would not be shocked if in a few years or in time that we will see a Merlin or a new motor that has turbos on it, and that will jump the sport a long way, I think.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean that would definitely be an innovation to the sport.
it's unbelievable what it took to get this to happen. And breaking world records is definitely something we want to keep on doing. If it gets broken again, we'll do our darndest to come out and try to re-break it. But it's definitely one of the hardest
Mm,
ones that we've had to pull off for sure.
You and I have talked in the past on the show about whenever you're on site as a part of one of these events that you don't, because you're so committed to making sure everything goes off without a hitch, you don't get to sometimes enjoy it as a fan. So first, I want to talk about your time in Indianapolis with this. How crazy was it for you, and what were some highlights for you?
Yeah, so much like you, Indianapolis is one of my favorite places. I'm a huge Colts fan, so Indianapolis is one of those places I love to visit, especially the stadium. But I had never had a chance to actually go out to the Indy 500 races. So experiencing the qualifying and then going out this next weekend to Indy 500 is going to be a huge experience. They're actually looking for like 350,000 people on site on Sunday. And that's a huge undertaking. We're all about big events at Monster Jam, and this is something we looking forward to taking in. So I took it all in week one. It was a bit stressful, as I'm sure the other two mentioned, but we pulled it off, and the team there on site is. It's something to be excited about. They do a lot of good things. They do a lot of things that we do. They run their live events like a broadcast, and that's something we strive to do too. So, we're excited about working with them, not only for this, but in future, and seeing what can come out of it.
What? Yo, what did he just say, bro? See, one thing about Jamie Dawson, bro, I don't know if he does it on purpose, but he says these cryptic wordings, and it gets me thinking all the time. Like, bro just said, something about the live broadcast and how Jam does it too, and how they would like to basically how they incorporate it too, but they want to do it better. And then he goes, "I look forward to working with them even more in the future." What do you mean, Jamie? What does that? What does that mean? Are we going back to the speedway, or are you trying to like what's going on here? Like, let me know, Jamie. Let me know. You could text me. You could DM me, bro, and let me know what you mean by that. Because what do you mean, Jamie? What? Hold on, we gotta go back. Hit that one more time. One more time.
On site is, it's something to be excited about. They do a lot of good things. They do a lot of things that we do. They run their live events like a broadcast, and that's something we strive to do too. So, we're excited about working with them, not only for this, but in future, and seeing what can come out of it.
Did you get a chance, though, to sort of step back and say, man, this is just super cool. Here we are at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We have Monster Jam here. All eyes are on us, and we're about to break a world record because, I mean, obviously I know you're very busy, but that's just this umbrella that we live under, that we're kids in a candy store, that we get to bring this incredible platform to millions of people. So any chance that you got to just step back and say, oh, my God, this is an awesome moment to be a part of?
We were late on Sunday with the record, so I don't think it really hit until I got out of town. But I'm assuming when I go this weekend, that's when it's really going to set in. We'll see the truck there. We'll get to talk about all the amazing experiences. But that's really what I'm looking forward to is being able to take all that in and step back and be like, wow, that was something. So.
And there was a lot of fans in attendance there for the unveil. Were you surprised at all at the amount of people that braved the weather and showed up to see Power Rush debut?
Not surprised, but just glad. We talked a lot about it with Indianapolis Motor Speedway on our fans travel well and they enjoy this type of thing. And when we got out there and we unveiled it on Friday, there was kids in Monster Jam shirts and adults talking about Indy at Lucas Oil Stadium. So. It was definitely our fans showed up and we're proud of, getting to see the new truck and getting to see us break a record.
So when it comes to the aesthetics of Power Rush, we saw the IndyCar logo on it. Was that just something there specifically for this weekend, or is that a partnership possibly down the road in the future?
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility there.
What are we doing here? What you mean? What possibility of what? IndyCar. He's talking about the IndyCar logo that's on the side of the truck.
You know what I'm saying? Dropping hints.
Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. What are we getting, Jamie? Yo. There got to be something at the end of this episode. There has to be. It can't just leave on like no cliffhanger or something, bro. He's leading up to something. There got to be. Come
Power Rush. We saw the IndyCar logo on it. Was that just something there specifically for this weekend, or is that a partnership possibly down the road in the future?
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility there.
Of Power Rush. We saw the IndyCar logo on it. Was that just something there specifically for this weekend, or is that a partnership possibly down the road in the future?
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility there. It's something we're working on with them.
something we're working on?
We
Oh,
all think that
okay.
it brings some validity to the truck and definitely ties back to the record that we broke there too. So it's something we're working on with them.
And I asked
What
Camden
does
this
he
question because I
mean,
wanted his
bro?
opinion, but I also want yours. From the outside looking in at him as a driver, when you look at a driver debuting a new Monster Jam truck, especially one with a very high profile platform to it, he has come in with Bakugan Dragonoid, which was initially the Spin Master partnership, and then that transitioned into Classroom Crusher, which he debuted, and now Power Rush. What makes Camden Murphy such a good driver to be given the responsibility and the platform to debut a new Monster Jam truck?
Yeah, he's not only an amazing driver, but he's a great spokesperson for the sport, right? Like that's what we love about him. It showed up this weekend too when he was put on a microphone, when he was asked to talk about the truck and the sport. He hit the nail on the head every single chance he got. But what a better person to kind of pilot the first Power Rush than somebody who's already gone 200 miles an hour on that track. Camden's had experience there. He knew what he was getting himself into. So it was a great experience. It was great for him. We're looking for amazing things out of this truck and out of Camden in the future.
Oh, okay. So he basically confirming that Camden's with the truck. I mean, we knew that, but it's also, bro, even they knew, like, putting in Camden and Powers was like the perfect play.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like we said earlier, like they're starting to build trucks to help
To
drivers.
accommodate them. Wait, I think it's to the point now Monster Jam has so many good people, and they come from all types of different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And they're still good at driving. So if you can capture that, I don't want to say make it seem like WWE, but a wrestler with no identity is just
A wrestler.
a wrestler. You know what I mean? Like there's no substance to that. So if you can start putting people in trucks that fit what they do and fit their background and their kind of like mannerisms and stuff, you start to grab more people's attention than it being just the same cookie cutter. 5 people drive Megalodon, but nobody's a fisher. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
no one goes deep sea fishing. So it's
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
it, that's a crazy take, but like in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
know what you mean. And but I think it's different when it comes to those type of IPs as far as like trucks, like Megalodon, Toro. Those type of trucks are more on a grander scale. Cause
right,
because of the fact that those trucks you see at each event you go to. Like
right.
JCB, you don't see it on both stadium tours. Tech Deck, Rec Deck, you didn't see on both stadium tours. And Power Rush, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna have it on like 2 stadium tours. So
No.
when it comes to these type of identities, you get that one driver to drive that one truck, and you don't see it anywhere else. So it kind of shows that this truck and this driver go together. But when you get like El Toro Loco and Megalodon and like Gravedigger, I guess you could say, those trucks you see on so many different tours, that's why it's not as captivating because you see them so much. Well, not to us because we're real fans, but like to the outside
Right.
looking in, you're like, oh, that's Gravedigger. You know what I mean? Oh, that's El Toro Loco. That's Megalodon. You don't really get to know the driver behind those trucks because you see him everywhere else.
And I think you start. I'm not saying you have a lineup of 12 trucks and those trucks don't share the same as another tour.
Yeah,
because
yeah. Cause yeah,
But-
yeah.
But if you throw little seeds in there of specific trucks that are only ran in the tour, that will boost me personally. That will boost sales if a person is more inclined to go watch their favorite driver in their favorite truck.
Yeah, and or another problem that can fix it is if we stop doing the Stadium West, Stadium East type of style, and we have one start on the west and make their way towards the east, and we start one start on the east and make their way towards the west. Because now you get to see each track, you get to see the trucks and you get to see the tracks,
Right.
and then
I mean, they already do 2 or 3 shows in certain,
exactly,
and then they could have, you have your world finals, but you can have like your little
everybody's gonna be there.
your little events where you have like a Supercross and East West shootout.
Ooh.
You have an event. It might not be you're not gonna have a 24 truck lineup, but you could have, let's just say, the top 6 on the west and the top 6 on the east. They meet for one event, and the points will still be measured out to where the west stays in the west and the east stays with the east. But you have the best drivers meet which is like a World Finals, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're still in a points race. The
Yeah.
points race is arguably just as big as the World Finals if you're trying to win a championship.
Yeah. But I'm saying it from the perspective of you give fans who don't get to you get to give fans who don't get to see the other tour a chance to see the other tour. Like as far as like
Right.
and that midpoint, like what you're talking about, like it's like a mini World Finals where they meet in the middle and then they start to cross paths. So like starts going to the West Coast and the West Coast start going to East Coast. Then you get that you get that duality between both tours because different fans get to see their favorite trucks. If like one of the trucks, like if Camden's in Power Rush on East and you live all the way in San Diego, you're probably not gonna be able to see Camden Murphy that season just because of the fact, unless you go to World Finals, you might not see him at all. You know what I mean? So if he starts on the East Coast, if you have a tour where you start on the East Coast and make your way towards the West Coast, not only do you eliminate the fact of the fan not being able to see him, but you get the feeling of seeing the driver there, and you get the track, and then you might see him at World Finals too. So it's kind of like you get like a bonus with everything that comes with that type of style. Like
Yeah, I mean, or you could another way is you don't have Stadium West and Stadium East. You just have
a tour.
Stadium. Yeah, you have Stadium Green and Stadium Purple. They all start in the same area. Like if you start on the West Coast, you have one weekend. You have, I mean, if it'd be kind of hard for timing, but and it probably wouldn't work. But if in a perfect world, you'd have the purple at San Diego, green at Anaheim, and then they swap, and then they move on, or they just hit.
Each
They hit starts on the West
state.
and move.
Yeah, I got you.
Each tour starts on one side of the country, and they both move across at the same time.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool too.
Because I mean, like, there's instances where it's just impossible, where you're not gonna see every driver in every truck.
Right. Unless you go to World Finals or something like that. Yeah.
Right, in every state, like it's easily not possible. But I think there's ways to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's for a different video, but I think the whole point system needs a rework.
Yeah. We'll say that for another video. Let's see what Jamie guys say.
I talked to Dustin a lot about the logistics of pulling this off. He was talking about the parts and what could have gone wrong. From your standpoint, you're watching Camden, you get a green light. He's heading down the speedway. At what point did you know that he had it, or did you not until it was brought in by the official world record company?
Yeah, so I was in the broadcast booth talking through show control, so making sure that all the timing went down, counting them in and telling them to launch. So we were waiting on the word back on what the actual speed was, and it actually took what felt like an eternity, but it was probably 30 seconds to actually get the word back that he had broken the record and at 103. So it felt like an eternity to be able to get the information back. But once we got it, the room erupted. And that's everybody from IMS and IndyCar and Fox Broadcasting. Everybody in the room was ecstatic. We were ecstatic. I ran down to the bricks as quick as I could get to Camden to congratulate him. But that feeling was unbelievable. And yes, the team went through so much to get there. You can't really explain it, and I hope Dustin did his best to try to wrap it up. But the parts breakages, the trials. We planned on testing that thing for 2 days, and it turned into 9 days of how do we get here and how do we do it. So it's not an easy feat. Anybody who thinks it's easy to run a truck down the track at 103, it's not. It took the team a lot to do it, and we'll see if anybody goes try to do it again.
Well, no, from the Pagli program, you can launch just for a regular race event and break a planetary. So
Yeah, exactly. But you know what else is crazy? Jamie is a very competitive. Like I love like the way his work ethic, because he's a very competitive person. He he's very smart and I don't know how to explain it, but the way he works and competitiveness is like it goes hand in hand, because he's like he 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 plans a lot. He's a planner. He and an outcome that you get with Jamie is always gonna be a good one. You know what I mean? Like, he wants the best of the best, and that's just how it should be. You know what I mean? She want the best of the best for the sport, for the trucks, for the fans. For the tracks. Everything that goes into Monster Jam and creating what it is now. Jamie's just a really good guy, and I see the work ethic in him, and I try to be that one day. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Thanks.
I love to see like the inside of things when Jamie talks, because it's so different, and it's so cryptic, and he talks about it like it's just nothing, but at the same time it's always something. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see.
Thanks.
I want to talk to you about that as well, because we did it at 100.3 at one point. Now we've done it at 103. Dustin said if somebody comes in tomorrow and does it at 104, with the way that everything that you all learned this week in Indy, that you guys would be ready to go out and try it at 105. Is that an accurate assessment from your standpoint as well?
Yeah, I'd say it's no easy feat. If somebody goes and does it and breaks our record, it's going to be through hard work, that's for sure. And if we have to go back out and beat it at 105, there's a good chance that we go do it. And there's I wanted to talk about this a little bit too, and I forgot to mention about some of these questions, but the verification that we went through, just to kind of throw it out there for the world to understand, we actually had 2 radar guns that were at 103, 1 radar gun that was at 104, and we had 3 GPSs off of GoPro that were actually at 106.
What?
So, knowing what we knew and how we tested it in the past, we went off the lowest common denominator, off the radars that we could verify. GPS on GoPro is really great. We think we could stand back on that and prove that it came out at 106. But we want to stand on the record that's very provable. We got it on video. The 103 hit. We actually had Indianapolis police there to radar it on LiDAR as well. So we verified as much as we could and went with the lowest common denominator. So, we'll see. We'll see.
And this is what we're talking about. You see, he's just bad subtle about it, but he's low key just flexing on us for no reason right now. But he just because there's gonna be some haters that say that it's fake or AI generated or whatever they got to say about it. But Jamie coming on here and saying, "Yo, listen, we had so many GoPros and so many radar detectors and speed cameras and everything that they had to get just to prove that it actually hit 103." He didn't have to say all that, you know what I mean? We seen it.
But he said 106, and he said there's a point to prove on that, but we just went with the lowest common denominator. That is,
yeah,
really
like
verified.
it's crazy. Like, hey man, that's my boy Jamie for sure.
Comes of it.
That's amazing. So 106, definitely a variable that could be attained with all that hard work.
That's
one last
crazy.
question for you, and I'll let you go. These opportunities that continue to find its way into Monster Jam as partnerships, and we see it all over the world, whether it's with toys, whether it's with other motorsports, whether it's with other global entities. What is it that just continues to allow Monster Jam to grow into these opportunities? Because you don't see a lot of other platforms like this where you have the opportunity to go into Indianapolis and basically shut down the city for the police to come over, for Indy 500 to be a part of it, to get on Pat McAfee's show, to get on ESPN, to get on Fox Sports. What is it that continues to allow Monster Jam this opportunity to grow and become this amazing phenomenon that it's already been, but just to continue to expand?
Yeah, the brand is growing. There's no doubt about it. Our licensing program is taking leaps and bounds. Astronomical leaps and bounds, and that's no small feat. It takes an army to be able to do that, but our licensing program is picking up. So now you're going to see it everywhere. You're going to see it in every aisle, not just the toy aisle in Walmart. You're going to in Target. You're going to see it everywhere. Our live events have been off the charts this year. I think people don't really understand, how good tickets are doing right now, and how well we're selling out some of these events.
Yeah.
Detroit breaking absolute records going out there. The brand is just growing and growing and growing.
El
And
Paso
there's
sold
no
out
end in
on
sight.
first day.
We have
See?
a lot of great stuff on the horizon, and we're looking forward to a great rest of the year and 2027 and what's beyond.
Well, it
See,
was, and
that's the thing. They already got like the plan for 2027 out, which is well, not out, but they're probably like, I don't even know how far they're probably like late into fall season of 2027 already, as far as like what they're doing planning wise. For us, we're still waiting for World Finals. You know what I mean? They passed that. They're next year already. So it's cool to see, and it's cool to see like Jamie talk about this type of stuff, because it puts in perspective how good Monster Jam's actually doing. You know what I mean?
And how big it actually is. It's not no niche sport for
right. I mean, at
for
this, yeah, exactly. It is, but it's not at the same time because of the numbers they're doing and selling out different stadiums, and how good they did. Like, just talking to him about like, just him talking about the whole season and how it went and how good it did. I mean, it was a really good, like, from start to finish. The season was entertaining. Like, stadium wise, it was great, and arenas too. I didn't watch as much arenas as I wanted to, but arenas did really good. Like, West was really good with Blake and Armando and Matt Doomer filling in for Ashley. Like, that was a really good season, and Team Throttle Monster showing out the season. The arena series, Central. I mean, not Central. Arena East. I think, no, not East. It was West. East, yeah, East with Zim winning his championship. That was pretty cool to see. MJ on his tour, Cody on his tour. He had a stack tour as well. Logan getting her first time full seat. That was pretty cool to see. And then you had arena what's it called? Uh what's it called? H3. Oh,
Freestyle Mania.
yeah, Freestyle Mania, yeah, bro. That was cool because they introduced the not like the bikes being a part of the show now, and being involved with points. That was pretty cool to see. So Jamie's hit the nail on the head when bro, the season they had this year was probably like the best season they had in a long time, and it just shows how much the sport has grown.
Yeah, and a test to that is the competition now.
Oh,
Everybody,
yeah.
and that's not. I'm not trying to dog on people back in the day or anything like that, but it's just everybody is capable of doing something crazy. The
That
independents have stepped up. Your newer drivers, as a new driver, you're thrown in as uh, pretty much knowing everything that you need to learn by going through all your testing and everything else. It's your first time in a truck, so you just kind of crawl around and stuff like that. Yes, there's still jitters and everything that goes in between shows with the crowds and all that. But it's the competition is at a whole new level now. So it's every show is going to be competitive.
Yeah, and it's to the point that you don't even know who's gonna win. You might think you know what I mean, because you have them type of drivers, but at the end of the day, you never know, because Monster Jam is so unexpected. So it's kind of cool to see that, and to be on that, to say something extra to what you were just saying. Shout out to Dustin Brown, because he's the one behind the fleet side of things, putting it together. So I just want to shout out Dustin for that, and shout out Lindsey Wink for the indie side of things. So I just wanted to shout him out too. But let's get back to the video. Let's end the video, man. Let's end this video.
I do want to put it in perspective for our fans that are watching right now. Basically, how it was explained to us from our digital team was that it's when you look at all sports, it's Taylor Swift, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Monster Jam like in the same platform, which is unbelievable to think about. The best selling music artist in the world and the most profitable sports team in the world, and then Monster Jam to be considered in the same platform.
Yeah, 4.5 million tickets plus on a year. Like, you can't name anybody else that's doing that. It's astronomical, and that's just the live event. Just to talk about it that way, our digital footprint is growing week over week, right? Every week the digital team puts out a Instagram post that goes viral and hits 3 million plus, and that's it's amazing to watch.
Well, congratulations on the debut of Power Rush, and looking forward to whatever comes next for Monster Jam, which I'm sure is going to be amazing in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jamie Dulsing, Monster Jam Senior Director of Global Operations. That is it. Hope you enjoyed Power Rush. Please follow us on social media, Monster Jam. Go to monsterjam.com. Get your tickets for Monster Jam events near you. That's all the time we have. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott Jordan. This has been Inside Monster Jam, the official Monster Jam podcast.
They won't give out too many leaks.
Well, it wouldn't be a
Still gotta
leak.
get to finals.
It wouldn't be a leak if Jamie Dalston's saying it. You know, like,
Well, yeah. You don't want to give us too much. We still gotta. We're a month out for finals. They still want us to have. They still want us pumped for that.
now here's what I want to leave off. Final remarks right here. I think finals. I think Cam Murphy going into Power Rush. I hope he has an amazing season going into next year, and hopefully he wins something coming up in World Finals. You know, racing, freestyle, whatever he can win. I hope he wins it, man. And World Finals. I mean, everybody's dogging on the track. Me personally, I think the track's gonna. That's an episode for itself, but just a quick summary. I think the track's pretty cool. I think racing's gonna be really fun and very competitive, and you really get to see who's really wheeling and dealing behind these trucks. You know, because it's a tough track for sure, and we'll get to really see who can really prevail in these trucks. And I think World Finals is gonna be a great event, especially the season we had this year. You know, it's been really great to see. So going into World Finals, I think is going to be nothing but peak. To be honest, what's your final remarks?
I would agree. I love the racing style. Freestyle. I mean, it won't come down until you see the changes they make on it, but it should be pretty interesting. Camden. Is Camden in high jump? He might be. Is he in high jump? I don't know if he's in high jump. If he's
don't think so. I don't think so.
Camden has a good shot this year. I see him winning a racing title.
I hope so.
If everything, he'll have his truck back, and if everything clicks right, he has a good shot at winning. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great one. Hopefully it's a great World Finals. I'm hoping for the best for each driver. Hopefully they go out there and thrash. Hopefully the truck is at 110% each competition they compete in, so we can have the best show ever. And shout out Jamie Dawson for giving us little tidbits on how everything went down. Shout out Dustin Brown for giving us more information, and shout out Camden, who was able to do the world record. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Throttle Sessions. It's been peak. This is our first ever reaction to anything Monster Jam related. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to get to 500 subs by the end of the year. So if you guys can make that goal possible, that'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.